Oh, just another ho-hum 10-win season for Penn State football. Great time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big Ten content every single day. Always crush that like button to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses. This is just what they do. Penn State plays solid football. They win 10 games most of the time, and this is just another one of those times. I say it's ho-hum because there's not a lot of attention on them since their losses to Michigan and Ohio State. Not a lot of attention nationally, but I've been watching this team closely, and this game was kind of a microcosm of their season, right? Taking a lot of pressure off of Sean Clifford, even though he threw 4 touchdown passes in this game. The rushing attack in terms of carries compared to passing attempts, the rushing attack doubled up. The passing attack in this one, they ran the ball almost twice as much as they threw the ball. But that's been the key to Penn State's success this season, has been running the ball, getting the ball into the hands of your playmakers, and that's Kaytron Allen and that's Nick Singleton. And they did that in this football game. Man, the future is bright for Penn State football. Like you look at Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton, they're not only the future of the offense at Penn State, they might be the future of running the football in the entire Big Ten Conference right now. These guys are awesome. I love how they continue to progress each and every single week. Man, they're so balanced. They're so even. It's very rare that you get a guy that rushes for 150 and a guy that rushes for 22 yards. They're so even. I don't know if any of them is going to necessarily be a top rusher in the Big Ten in any given year, because both of them might rush for 900. You know, that's kind of the way things are going with this rushing attack right now at Penn State. I love Theo Johnson at tight end. He proved it again today, why he's going to be a big-time target in the years to come for Penn State football, right? A multi-touchdown game. He had a good game against Minnesota earlier on this season. Tall target. Those targets, the type of targets like Theo Johnson, very difficult to defend. In a conference that loves their tight ends, Theo Johnson might be the next great one at Penn State. Oh, and then you talk about Abdul Carter on defense. You look at Drew Alar, the quarterback. A lot of young players got a lot of reps this season for Penn State. Look, they're going to take a lot of this momentum into this bowl game, and they could win 11 games. This might be the quietest 11-win season in the history of college football. But you can say what you want right now about James Franklin, but he's churning out good teams. James Franklin, what he needs to do to really get over the hump, he needs to beat Michigan. He needs to beat Ohio State. Now, they put themselves on a completely different level, I think, and you saw that today in their game. You saw that throughout the season this year. That's what Penn State needs to do to get to the next level. I want to talk about Michigan State for a minute. Man, there was a quote by Mel Tucker that says, we can't hit in practice, really, or maybe like once a week or something, because we don't have any depth, right? The suspensions and all that. It's been a rough year for Michigan State. I can't think of a year that has had this many, should I say, distractions or just things that have happened to a program, especially after the great year that Sparty had last year. Man, Mel Tucker, even after that loss to Indiana, this team has continued to show fight. This team has continued to show grit. I know you're not going to go to a bowl game. I know this is a 5-7 football team, but I think Michigan State and their fans learned a lot this season. I think Mel Tucker, I'm not sure if he's a great coach right now, but I think he's a good coach. And I think there needs to be some changes in terms of personnel to really get to them to the next level. But if there's a guy that can make those changes, that can go into the transfer portal, that can do that, I think it's Mel Tucker. He's done it before. I think he can do it again. Man, this team showed fight today. Okay, this team, Peyton Thorne, just continued to go and go and go. And I know I've said in the past, maybe they need to look into the transfer portal at the quarterback position. But, you know, I'm kind of split on this one yet, because every time I say that, Peyton Thorne goes out, he throws for 270. He throws for a couple of touchdowns. Every time I say that, Peyton Thorne kind of proves me wrong a little bit. So maybe I need to say that a little bit more about Peyton Thorne for him to come out and play some good football games. And especially on defense. Like, considering the losses with the suspensions that they've had on defense, for them to play like they've played, you know, down the stretch here, it's been nothing short of impressive. Look, Michigan State fans, I get you're disappointed. I understand your frustration. It has been a very frustrating year. After almost everything went your way a year ago, you're going to have these ups and downs. But I think Michigan State, believe it or not, is in a pretty good position as a program. They're recruiting very well with Mel Tucker right now. I think he's going to get this thing back on the right track. Today and these last few weeks is kind of, it's a good thing. Let me just say that. I think you should be supportive right now of what Mel Tucker is doing at Michigan State because, man, this is a team that could have just folded up and died. And they didn't. They kept on fighting. They got some key wins. And to be in this position, to try to get to a bowl game and to fight like they did and to keep this a game like they did against a really good Penn State team, Michigan State and their coaching staff and all their guys, especially Mel Tucker, deserves a lot of credit. I want to hear what you guys think of this one. Penn State going home with the land-grant trophy. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted if you haven't already. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we will see you in the next one.